everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. I have a lot of topics and ideas that I want to talk about, but the first thing that I want to address is the truth about working out at home. I have come across a lot of videos of people saying that if you really want to build your glutes, it needs to be done at a gym. And I have a lot of Instagram followers that don't have access to a gym. So I think that there is an issue with saying that. I understand why people are saying that, and I understand that it's with well intentions, but the thing that ends up happening is that these people that don't have access to a gym end up feeling discouraged, and then they just don't do anything at all because they think that they're not going to get any results. It's a similar concept to almost anything in life. You got to start with the basics. I tried to learn a song on the guitar on my first try, like a really hard song, and obviously I couldn't learn it. I got really frustrated, I gave up. Then a couple weeks later I tried again with the same song, and it didn't work out. My dad was like, hold up, you gotta start with the basics. You gotta know what string is what, you gotta know like the notes or whatever. And I didn't listen, so to this day I cannot play the guitar. So just like that, you can't expect to duplicate your favorite influencers' videos and have the same results. They've been working out for years, they've figured out what works for them, and it's okay to use them to help you, guide you through that journey, but it doesn't stop there. You gotta learn this stuff for yourself, and you gotta apply it for yourself. No one's gonna do the work for you. Increasing muscle size is also known as hypertrophy. Now, there isn't a lot of evidence and science behind this because it is an emerging science, but everything that I talk about I get from following and reading up on Bret Contreras' theory and research behind the glutes. He's been studying the glutes for 20 years. I completely trust him. So I recommend his book if you would like to learn more about the glutes. Based off his book, he says that there are 3 mechanisms that are thought to build muscle, and that is mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. So mechanical tension is basically the contraction and tension placed on a muscle when working it out. This can be through passive tension or active tension. There are lots of ways to achieve this, but the top 2 that he talks about are progressive overload and the mind-muscle connection. So progressive overload basically means doing more over time. This can also be done in a lot of different ways, and it really deserves its own video, but since I don't have that video out yet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link an article below called The 10 Rules of Progressive Overload, also by Mr. Bret Contreras, the glute guy. The other thing he talks about is the mind-muscle connection. So this is attentional focus on the muscle you are working. This really helps. This is really important. This is basically visualizing and channeling that muscle that you are using during a particular exercise. So the issue with working out at home sometimes can be that you have a lot more distractions around you. You might end up watching TV while you're working out. You might end up cooking in between sets, trying to do a bunch of things at once, and that's not really going to work because you can't really channel the muscle if you're doing a bunch of things at once. But the same thing can happen at a gym. You could be working out and still not be fully present and still not be connecting to your muscle. You could be thinking about the bad day you had or the big day that you have coming up tomorrow. The second mechanism is metabolic stress, which is that burning sensation that you get. This is when the higher rep exercises really come into play, that constant tension kind of stuff. This is where you'd incorporate bands to have resistance and constant tension when working out. So this would be kind of like the banded sidewalks, the frog pumps, stuff like that. The third mechanism is muscle damage. So this is the more traditional old school way that people believe grows muscle, which is that when working out, you're causing micro tears and lesions, which then prompts the muscle to recover and grow bigger. So why do people say that you need the gym? People say you need the gym because there is a misconception that the only way to cause progressive overload or to cause this muscle damage, micro tears in the muscles, is through heavy weights. Form is key. Imagine having a really terrible squat. Now imagine going to the gym, slapping on weights, and doing that same terribly formed squat. there was no improvement here. All you did was make yourself more prone to injury. So the first step is always, always, always to master that exercise with your own body weight. You should be able to kill that exercise with your own body weight at high reps if necessary before graduating onto weights. There's a lot of people at the gym with bad form doing heavy weights, but there's also a lot of people at the gym with good form or okay form, but zero strategy behind what they're doing. So even though what they're doing looks really, really good, they're not building upon that throughout time. They're not getting better. They're not trying to improve. And so that's why they're not seeing results. So there's a lot of key components to this, but the main thing to remember is that all of this can be achieved in the beginning at home. You do not need to go to a gym to apply progressive overload. This leads me to my next point. When you start working out, you're going to come across a lot of videos titled quick at-home booty workout. Do this to build your glutes at home. 10-minute everyday booty thing. That's great, but you're going to end up trying to do that particular routine every single day or every couple of days, and you might notice it at first. You're going to feel it in the booty, but it's not going to grow. You're going to stall because you're not applying the principles of growing muscle, which again is that mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. But the first one being key, which is the mechanical tension, which is that progressive overload and that mind-muscle connection. You need to be improving. You need to constantly be trying to get better and building strength. You cannot do the same 30 hip thrusts every single day. It needs to be more challenging. Incorporate single leg hip thrusts. Start including weight. Do higher reps. Pick an exercise, master it, master its variation. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop at that one YouTube video with a really cool 30-minute workout. It doesn't stop there. You gotta keep going. You gotta start at the bottom and work your way up. You can't expect to be up here because someone else is already up here. They started from the bottom. You gotta start there too. Come on. So thank you for watching my first YouTube video. I know that in a couple of weeks or months or even by tomorrow, I'm gonna find this video very cringy. So please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what else you want to see. Okay, bye.
You know who you are.